Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Thrive in 5 podcast. I hope you're having a lovely day so far, whenever you are listening to this, whether it is on your commute, on your lunch break, at home, doing some life admin, whilst avoiding replying to emails, whatever it is, I hope you are having a great day so far. As you will know, if you've been listening to the other episodes this week, we are talking a little bit about balance. And something that I hope has come through in the episodes that we've already done is the idea that this is not about balance where everything is perfect. This is all about finding work-life balance in a way that is flexible and malleable based on the demands of both work and life. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, like you're running on empty, or like you need to be at 100% all the time to keep doing things right, this episode is going to be for you. Today, I'm going to be talking about a really simple tool that we use in the TFP to help our team to stay on track, no matter how crazy their day gets. It's a tool that I use myself, as all of these tools are, and it's incredible. It's incredibly useful and a really good way of thinking about it. It is called the dimmer switch tool, and it is the key to finding balance when things are a bit chaotic. So picture this for a second. Your effort is a light switch. The amount that you can give is a light switch, but it's not one of those on off switches, those like flick up and down switches. It's a dimmer switch. Some days you are shining bright at 100%. You have got work's pretty relaxed, you've got loads of energy, things are feeling great, you're not on your period, you're not feeling ill, and you've got everything you can to give to going to the gym, to prepping your meals, to doing your steps, to doing all of your health and fitness bits and bobs that are part of having a healthy work-life balance for you. But there are other days where you might not have as much energy to give. You might only have the energy to turn that light on, maybe just 20%. And guess what? That is okay. The goal here isn't about trying to hit that full brightness every day. It's about keeping the light on, even if it's dim, because it is consistency that matters. It's as long as those lights are on, we're moving forwards. This dimmer switch approach allows us to be flexible based on what the energy that we have to give. We tend to think about 3 different levels of brightness within the TFP when we talk about the dimmer switch. The first one would be high brightness. As I've said, that's when you've got full energy, full effort, full focus. That is when you are feeling unstoppable. Work's not too busy, your energy's high, you've had a good night's sleep, everything's feeling easy. You can go and do absolutely everything you want to. You can go and really, really push through. You've then got maybe medium energy where you're feeling okay. Maybe you're a few days before your period, so you're not feeling 100%, but work's pretty chill. Maybe work's a little bit busier, and you know that you're going to be in the office more, so you have a little bit less time to give, a little bit less energy to give, so you can't give quite as much energy and effort as you would on a high brightness day. So rather than that dimmer switch being turned all the way up, it's maybe turned 50% up. And then we have low brightness days. That is when we are just keeping the lights on. Work might be super busy, you might not be feeling 100%, and there might be certain things that you put on the back burner because you've not got enough light to shine onto them. So you might decide on those lower brightness weeks not to get into the gym. You may make that a week where you don't really push things with your food, and you accept that maybe we do go and rely on ready meals a little bit. It's about keeping the light on and still thinking about your goals and still thinking about making progress, but with the light turned right down. And the reason this tool is so helpful is because having work-life balance is not about being 100% all the time. It is not about going in and going, right, no matter how busy work is, I need to make sure that I'm giving like the same amount of energy and effort to the things I do outside of work. It is not about that at all. It's a trap that a lot of people fall into. They will say, right, to have good work-life balance, I need to make sure that I'm going to the gym 4 times a week. I need to make sure I'm doing 10,000 steps a day. I need to make sure that I'm eating fresh home-cooked meals and I'm tracking my calories because my goal is fat loss and that's what I want to do. And that's fine on a high brightness day when you've got loads to give. But then when work gets busy, people don't turn the dimmer switch down. They just turn the light switch off. Or they try and push through and they end up exhausted and burnt out. The fact is, some days you have more energy to give. Some days you have more time to give. Some days work does stuff and you have less to give. And that is okay. It's about adjusting your effort based on what is going on in that moment. If you are only capable of giving 50% on a given day, guess what? You've still given 50%. That is still better than doing nothing. One of the mantras that my team are constantly like saying, because I say it to them all the time, is something is better than nothing. Just because you have 20% energy to give, just because you've had the world's longest day at work and everything feels rubbish and you think, what's the point? If you give just 10% effort on that day, if you can just go and think, right, let's at least make sure I track my steps today. even if I don't do the steps I want to do, let's make sure I just take note of what my steps are. Maybe it is thinking on those days where you literally have 5% energy. When you're getting the tube to the station, you think, actually, I'm just going to walk up the escalator rather than stand. All of those little things keep the lights on. This method works so well because it helps us to break the all or nothing mentality. So many of us, particularly professional women, particularly high achievers, we feel like we need to go all in or not bother at all. And when it comes to work-life balance in particular, that can really limit things for us because it makes us feel like we either have to be giving everything to our life outside of work or nothing at all. The dimmer switch proves that even the smallest actions matter. Whether you're giving 100%, 50%, 10%, you are still showing up, and that is what matters. That is the thing that's important. That is what builds momentum, and that is what shows that it doesn't have to be perfect to make progress. That is what I want you to go away and think about today. If you are feeling a bit overwhelmed today, a bit tired, we're on like the 4,000th of January. So we're all reaching that point where maybe we are starting to feel a little bit exhausted. Maybe our January health and fitness goals aren't going quite as well as we would like. Have a think about, even if you can't do 100%, even if you think, actually, I've not got the capacity to do all the things I'm asking of myself today, rather than thinking, well, let's give up and turn the lights off, think about how you can turn the lights down, but still keep the lights on. Maybe it's drinking some extra water. Maybe it's stretching for 5 minutes. Maybe it's literally just taking 30 seconds to think, oh, what are you going to have for dinner tonight, rather than grabbing a takeaway. Maybe it is literally as simple as taking the stairs rather than taking the lift. It is all about doing something. Because work-life balance, as I say, it's not fixed. It is flexible, just like that dimmer switch. Some days, work is going to take up more space. Sometimes you'll have more time for yourself. And other times, you will need to shift your focus quite quickly, day to day, week to week. That is okay. That is the reality of the lives that we lead, and you are in control of how you show up. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you found that episode useful. It's nice and short and sweet. If you've got any questions, obviously drop me a message on social media at amytyler.tfp, and I will catch you next time.